Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Collector's Edition Penguin. Now, it's been a long time coming since we got a comic version of the Penguin. And this is sort of a classic, but modernized version of Penguin. And I just can't wait. There is a Platinum Chase variant, which is a Silver Age sort of Superpowers homage version, and I'm on the hunt for him. I pre-ordered him from the McFarlane Toy Store, utilized the bundle discount and the coupon code, got these guys for a little bit under retail after shipping and taxes, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, McFarlane Collector's Edition, DC Multiverse, the Penguin. Here he is in the package. Looks like we have collector's card, display stand for the collector's card, total 4 hands, and an umbrella. One side of the package, McFarlane Collector's Edition, the Penguin, DC Classic. This is the 12th figure in the Collector's Edition line. Other side, the Penguin. The back, here's an image from the old school comics, Penguin riding on a giant bird, fighting a 70s looking Batman. At the bottom, there is his barcode, if that helps anybody. In addition to the McFarlane Toy Store having them, looks like they're showing up at Target right now as well. So without further ado, let's open them up. And I did get the entire wave. I believe this is the 4th traditional wave of collector's figures. We have Starfire, Penguin, and Captain Boomerang. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. We have 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands. Of course, his signature umbrella, a display stand, collector's card, and display stand for the collector's card. Before I take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Penguin, and this is a comic version. His real name is Oswald Cobblepot, and he doesn't really have any superpowers, but he's a criminal mastermind, one of the top mobsters in Gotham. That being said, let's take a look. Start with his face here. It looks great. He's got the top hat, the monocle, long nose, a little bit of redness around both the eyes. He's always an ugly fella. Big, giant, long nose, fat cheeks. But he also looks sinister at the same time. He's in sort of a 3-piece suit. We have the black jacket, white shirt, black bow tie, and then almost a neon orange vest. He's got purple pants. It looks like double-jointed elbows, single-jointed knees. You can see the little tail on his jacket. A lot of texturing on there. There is some subtle texturing going on his vest too. Not sure how well that's showing up on camera. As a whole, he looks good. He looks like a traditional Penguin, but kind of modernized, and I think it's damn near perfect. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, which I think is very well done. We have sort of a mixture of classic and modern. He looks angry, and he has a signature monocle and long nose. And then here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. I am curious if he shares any parts with the Arkham Penguin. And my initial thoughts, figure seems fantastic, but there's absolutely no reason for this guy to be in the Collector's Edition line. He doesn't really offer anything unique. Sure, 2 extra hands and an umbrella. Also, the figure's a little bit shorter. Just the value isn't there. And that really goes for the entire wave. There's really no reason for any of them to be labeled Collector's Edition. They could easily be regular releases. Now check out his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane display stand we've seen a million times before. Only difference is this one's part of the Collector's Edition, so it has a silver DC at the bottom. Still very thin, very basic, but it gets the job done. Here's his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of Penguin from the comics. Old school version. The outfit is a little bit different color scheme than the figure. McFarlane Collector's Edition. On the back side there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. And it doesn't do much for me, but if you want to display the collector's card next to your figure, you have a display stand to do so. Now let's look at his hands. He has a total of 4 of them, 2 left hands and 2 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands with trigger fingers. And the left hand, a little bit odd. He's got the trigger finger, but his pinky's kind of sticking out also. And here's his alternate pair of hands. His right hand is a fist, and his left hand is sort of this weird open hand. Could be a grabbing or choking hand. Now for his umbrella, which I'm pretty sure is the same one that came with the Arkham Penguin. It's an umbrella folded up. The top is sort of a bird for the handle. It's gold. And the bottom, gold sort of spike part. Now, can be a regular umbrella, he's holding it. And could also be sort of a weaponized version of the umbrella. Maybe a gun inside of there. Here's the penguin, holding his umbrella like a cane, walking on it. And then here he is, holding it like a gun. Now I wanted to check out the similarities, reuse, and differences between this comic version of Penguin and the Arkham version. And I think it's really cool you get both versions. So if you want a more traditional looking Penguin, you got this. And if you want sort of a more modern Penguin, you have the Arkham version. Heads are totally different. The top half, the arms, the jacket, it's all different. But from the waist down, it's 100% the same. You can see the same sort of zipper line on the crotch area. Shoes exactly the same small stubby legs, but it works. I don't mind this reuse. Slight update here. It does look like he has the same elbows, biceps, and shoulders. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his hat, standing at about 6.75 inches tall, which can translate to about 17 centimeters. And that's the top of his hat. The top of his head would probably be around 6.5 inches tall, maybe 6.4, that sort of area. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course, you can rotate from side to side. You can look up and down about that far. Can't tilt his head from one side to the other. Would have been nice if the hat was removable, but not a big deal. I definitely prefer with the hat on anyway. Shoulders on a ball joint goes about 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He doesn't have the butterfly rings between his shoulder and chest area. The jacket covers the gap nicely as is. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows, they go all the way in. His wrists can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Torso, one solid piece. Ball joint his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, they go out about this far. McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is non-existent. They go forward, not very much. Back, not at all. Single jointed knees. Go back about this far with rotation. And then his ankle. Forward and back, tiny bit. Rotate, also tiny bit. Tilt rock, even tinier bit. And of course, toe articulation. Here's Penguin, walking down the streets of Gotham, using his umbrella as a cane. And then here's Penguin, using an umbrella as a gun, firing at all of his enemies. Now let's check him out. Next is some other action figures, starting off with some other Penguin figures, then with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here are all of the McFarlane DC Multiverse Penguin figures. We have the Batman movie Penguin, then the comic Penguin, and a couple different versions of the Arkham Penguin. Of course, I'm missing the Platinum Chase variant of this Penguin, as well as the other figures in this wave. And here he is, next to a couple of DST or Diamond Select Toys TV show Gotham Penguin figures. Then, next to all of my DC Direct and DC Collectibles Penguin figures. I believe I'm only missing the Silver Age and Dark Victory versions, and I would love to track those down. And now, with all of my Mattel Penguin figures, I will say I think Mattel did a slightly better job on their comic Penguin. The orange on the vest, the color scheme's a little better. It's not sort of neon orange like a reflective vest. He's got the pinstripe on the pants, and they both have a sort of comic angry face. It's a nice combination of classic and modern. And both McFarlane and Mattel made the Superpowers variant, which is pretty cool. And let's not forget about McFarlane's 1966 Penguin figures. And here he is, next to an older Kenner Legend of the Dark Knight Penguin. Here are all the different Penguin figures that I have. I believe I have all of them in the 6 and 7 inch scale, except for a couple of DC Direct ones I mentioned earlier. Here's a look at all of my different Penguin henchmen. These are sort of Arkham City themed. They have that camo colored outfits. Some have jackets on. The only officially licensed one is right next to Penguin there. It's the DC Collectibles, Mr. Sickle. The rest of them are customs or figure substitutes. Here he is, next to a couple of Kabuki figures. I use these as the Kabuki twins, which are Penguin's henchmen in the cartoon, The Batman. Then, next to a bunch of actual penguins. These are sort of Penguin henchmen, Batman Returns style. Now let's check them out, next to some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. And let's start off with the Collector's Edition figures. Here's Penguin, next to both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the first wave of Collector's Edition figures. And here he is, Next to the second wave of Collector's Edition figures, both regular and Platinum Chase variants. Then, next to the third wave of Collector's Edition figures, both regular and Platinum Chase variants. Every single Collector's Edition figure has had a Platinum Chase variant so far, and I don't see that changing. And now, next to McFarlane's Collector's Edition Wonder Woman, both regular and Platinum Chase variants. And I wouldn't call her Series 4. She was just sort of a single release between Series 3 and 4. I guess I'll lump her in Series 3 moving forward. And finally, here he is with the rest of his wave. This is the fourth wave of Collector's Edition figures: Starfire, Penguin, and Captain Boomerang. And each one of these guys has a Platinum Chase variant out there. I'm on the hunt for those. If anybody has a lead and we're able to get one, please drop me a line in the comments below. And I believe the next Collector's Edition wave is going to be Manga Batman, Sergeant Rock, and Connor Kent Superboy. And there have been so many other rumors on these different various leaked lists about what's going to be in the next waves after that. I've seen stuff about Clock King and Ragman and Red Hood, Huntress, Dark Knight Returns Batman. I'm not really 100% sure what's coming after the next wave. Now let's check them out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the gold labeled Target exclusive Cassandra Cain Batgirl and Rival. Here's the Penguin. Next to most recent Batman wave, we have both the Platinum Chase Blue Armored Azrael and the regular red version, the Black and Gray Nightfall Batman, and both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Detective Comics 27 First Appearance Batman. Then, next to the JLA wave, Collectible Plastic Man, we have both the Blue and Platinum Chase variant red Superman figures, two fully assembled Plastic Man, Black Suit Batman, regular and Platinum Chase variant John Stewart Green Lantern, and the regular and Platinum Aquaman. And now, with the recent Page Puncher wave, Superman Ghost of Krypton, we have both the regular and Platinum Chase armored versions of Val-Zod, the Armored Superman, Ghost of General Zod, and both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of Brainiac. Here's Penguin. Next to the digital wave, we have the Silver Age Hal Jordan Green Lantern, the DC Rebirth Batman, and the DC Classics Aquaman. Then, next to the Amazon exclusive Kilowog and Kyle Rayner Green Lantern 2-pack. And finally, next to the Walmart exclusive gold label Vampire Nightwing and Wally West Flash. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check them out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, and some DST or Diamond Select toys, here's the Penguin, next to a Cinnamon Muffin. And here he is, next to some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, next to both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a very nice Penguin figure. I cannot believe it took McFarlane to year 5 to make a comic Penguin figure like this. This should have come out the first year of figures. My only real complaint about this guy is he should be part of the collector's edition. There's no reason for any of these figures, maybe Captain Boomerang with the extra soft goods, but there's really nothing justifying the extra price tag on these guys. That being said, the figure itself is fantastic. I don't mind the reuse, the legs, the arms. You can't really tell by looking at him, and he looks like a great version of the comic Penguin. I love the sort of mixture of classic and modern elements to him. If you want a completely modern looking Penguin, you can get the Arkham version. If you want a more classic comic version, get this one. And if you want a classic Silver Age or Superpowers one, try to get the Platinum Chase variant. So, his accessories, pretty nice. It is the same umbrella we had before. He has alternate hands at least. All the extra collector's card and stand stuff doesn't mean much to me. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. I like the face. His coat is unusually textured, but I think they made it that way just so they could use the previously textured arms from the Arkham Penguin. Articulation, it's a little bit limited in the knees, but as a whole, it's everything you expect from a modern McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. I mean, he doesn't have the double ball joints in the waist and torso because his torso would look really weird if they added a cut in there. If I were to rate this guy, first thought's an 8 out of 10, but honestly probably deserves a slightly lower score, so I'm going to leave this guy at a 7.5 out of 10. I cannot believe it's taken McFarlane this long to give us a comic Penguin. Now, where's the comic Black Mask, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Modern Riddler, Ventriloquist, and so many, many more. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.